Jay here for Stretford Paddock. This is Paddock Live. Joining me tonight is Mr. Dave Scott. How are you, Scotty?
Very, very good. Thank you.
You good? You feeling it? Are you enjoying yourself now? Can we all relax a little bit?
Yeah.
Because we've had a couple of wins. Everything's rosy. We kind of know there's not much happening in the January transfer window.
Yes.
So we don't have to go through all the rigmarole of, we're going to get him, we're going to get this. Not really. But there are some summer transfers ahead of us as well. So we can get into that. And also, we'll give us a little bit of update on what's going on with Michael Carrick, what's going on with the squad, any injury updates. Obviously, we're missing Ballon d'Or for the next 10 weeks, which is a bit of a blow, but we'll have some more updates on that as well. Make sure, though, you're getting involved in the chat and the comments and hit that like button, please. Jim McCory is in the super chat, says, after Joe and Steve in today, I put £5 on United to win the league. Listen, I'm not going to lie to you, I had a little butchers at the odds.
What are the odds?
50 to 1.
Oh, that's worth a five of that.
I mean, it's not, you know what I mean? It's not that beyond the realms of possibility, is it? You know, I'm not saying we're going to win the league, I'm just saying.
The way I look at it is that until
stick
we
a fiver
can't,
on that. Okay.
Until we can.
I love
and
that.
that's the way I'm going at it.
Good to see loads of people in the chat. Raven78 says Scotty and Motti. A full name Huggy says Joe's had a haircut. Robert Tater 4683 says poem from Scotty. Maybe one day. I don't want to make you perform like do poetry for us now. No. You know what I mean? No, you don't have to do that. You can just talk to us about transfers instead. Jamie says, evening lads. Right, let's get into some puns. Some stories. We have got producer Cam. Quick, you haven't got a mic tonight, have you?
No, I don't know why.
Well, they said no, they don't know why. Well, can we rectify that for next week, please? Because when we're insulting you, we'd like you to be able to push back on us.
You should have buckets over the heads. Put that camera back on. You know, like if the puns are terrible. Remember like a 90s game show?
What was it like?
Slime
What was that thing with
the
the slime and all that?
Like generation game.
Yeah, something like that. But that'd wreck all the equipment. I'm not bothered about them lot.
All right, yeah.
And also, no one will clean that up. Jesus Christ. asking them lot to clean up after themselves already.
Yeah.
Absolute task.
Just sit there and slime for weeks.
Do you know what I mean? It'd just be filth everywhere for the next year. Right. Right, let's go into the puns.
Cole Palm and collect him. It's all right.
Yeah.
I don't mind it. Collective is what we're
Palm and collect. So what is it?
Cool, calm.
Cool, calm and collected.
Yeah.
Right. Cole, Palm and collecting. It's all right. It's growing on me. Yeah. What do you reckon?
No. I like the play on collecting for collective.
Yeah. Cole, Palm, collected. Yeah. Go to producer Cam.
We'll take that.
You're proud of yourselves on that one, aren't you?
We're all right.
That was all Ben. I could see they were.
Yeah.
I ain't right. I ain't.
Oh, joint effort.
I ain't
joint
this.
effort.
Of the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 words.
Divvy them up.
2 of them were at Harry's, 3 of them were mine.
Yeah.
Just fuck off, right? You're not splitting a fucking 5-word sentence between you, right?
You can have the hand, right?
Yeah, Chris, where was your contribution to this?
Chris.
Sat at the back there, 5 words, he didn't even come up with any of them.
Oh, you have the hand for today.
Disgusting. He came up with the apostrophe, not the apostrophe, the comma.
Comma.
The comma, forgive me. Right, go on, son, sorry.
Why Man United could be able to seal Cole Palmer transfer despite Chelsea's statement. Manchester United continue to be linked with a move for Chelsea star Cole Palmer. The midfielder penned a 7-year deal with Chelsea in September 2023, with the club holding an option for a further year. The 23-year-old was reportedly prepared to consider overtures from Old Trafford, having supposedly become restless in London. It has recently been claimed on the London is Blue podcast by Matt Law that Estavio, that's how his friends refer to him.
I thought so.
Is being lined up as a future star in the number 10 position at Chelsea, where Palmer has played his best football for the Blues. Such a move would clear the path for United to sign Palmer if the money is right. That's Matt Law, The Telegraph, via the MEN.
Yeah, there's a little bit of credibility there with Matt Law. He's not just sort of clickbait nonsense. Now, on the surface, Palmer to United, and I've said it on many a live, so, don't have to say, oh, Joe, you changed shit. I have said it. It seems completely unrealistic. Shut the door on that one. Not happening. No way on God's green earth Chelsea will ever sell Cole Palmer to anyone, at least for United. He signed a 9-year deal last year. He's their sort of, shining light. Ain't going to happen. However, I will caveat it because there's several things to consider here. And I'm just putting these out there and I'll get your thoughts on it. One, it's Chelsea. They're mental. Yep. They do things that you just think, What? Like, we're going to go out and we're going to spend 80 million quid on Mikhail Mudryk. Why? You know, it's Chelsea, innit? We're going to spend, God knows, what was it, 80 million on Wesley Fofana. We're going to spend another 100 million on Enzo Fernandez. I know people think he's all right, but he's not worth 100 million quid. We're going to do all these sort of massive signings, and then we'll worry about what to do with him. And we'll just keep buying these sort of hybrid winger attackers. We'll just keep getting loads of them. So we'll get Gittins, we'll get Garnacho, we'll get whoever else. It's just like we'll just keep getting them until we can't. You know, we've got 40-odd people in the squad and people in the corridors. We'll sack managers no matter what they do. It's a mental club. So that has to be taken into consideration. Also, Cole Palmer, this time last season, was flying.
Dynamite one and played.
I think he had like 14 goals in 20 games, whatever it was. However, he then had a bit of a drop-off where it was 1 goal in 16 games in the league. Now, I know he got a lot of assists. I'm not saying he didn't do anything. But he did have a little bit of a wobbly one. And he does have these little patches where it's not all going well. Now, before people jump in, towards the end of the season, obviously the Club World Cup smashed it with that performance and did well, I think, in the Europa Conference as well. So in Europe and elsewhere, he was doing well. But, I mean, in the league, it did drop off a little bit. This season in the league, I think it's 4 goals in 12 games, had a few injuries. So, again, it's decent, but it's not the Cole Palmer that we know it can be. So there's that, whether Chelsea look at it and go, look, if we can get a ridiculous amount of money for him. Yeah. And because it's Chelsea, and because they love buying players as well and doing deals, they always do these deals, don't they? Maybe there's something there where they'll go, look, Esteval's our guy. Do we need, Palmer and Esteval? I think you do, personally. I just don't know. What do you reckon? Do you think there's any chance this could happen?
I think, maybe not as soon as the summer, I think further down the line. I don't know, but just with the history of him being a Manchester United fan, him coming from Wythenshawe, I mean, who wants to live in London after you've lived in Wythenshawe, you know?
No one.
Nobody does that.
What has London got that Wythenshawe hasn't?
Exactly, nothing at all. Everything's a lot cheaper in Wythenshawe as well.
This is it. They call London the Wythenshawe of the South.
Did they really?
I used to live there, that's what they call it.
Right, okay. So I could see him moving back up north to sign for the club that he supported as a kid. Obviously, there's the Mainoo link as well. They're good friends and all.
Yeah,
Mainoo was linked with going to Chelsea. So why couldn't that be the other way around?
Tables have turned.
And you were talking about the sort of how volatile Chelsea are as a football club. United are very similar in terms of we've made our own sort of, our Anthony that we've signed, or Sancho's been a nightmare. So, it might be like for like. And if you look at how Chelsea are at the moment, okay, they've won and they've gone through in the Champions League tonight. You don't know what that's going to be like in 6 months because of the nature of the club and how quick they're going through managers. And obviously they've got David Brent in charge now. We don't know what that's going to be like in a year's time. So I could see Cole Palmer coming home, coming back to the north, back to Wythenshawe. I don't think it'll be this summer. But I think, Kobbie Mainoo gets on the blower, says, yeah, like our kid. Yeah. Go back to Wythenshawe.
Yeah, I think you make a good point. It might not be immediately, but further down the line, one day, coming back to Manchester, why not? Who knows what the future holds, as you've said there, Scotty. Isn't it funny if, like, Liam Rosenior, if you've been pronouncing his name right, and he won, like, 5 out of 6 games now, or something like that. He's done quite well since he's gone there. Is it 4 out of 5? I can't remember what the exact stat is. He won again tonight. Did Chelsea win tonight? 3-2. So, won away in Europe, doing quite well. Wouldn't it be funny if he was, well, not funny, but, well, I suppose it would be funny if he was actually, like, really good. Like, he was actually a dead good manager.
It would be the shock of the season.
He knew what he was doing, and he got a tune out of him, because everyone just assumes he's an idiot. Let's get into some of the chat. Let us know what you think. Better buses in London, says a full name, Huggy, but though he does sell LOL. Good point. Gary and Luke says, sort the midfield out this summer, then get him in the summer after. There you go, that could happen. The only decent team Chelsea played, he lost. There you go. So Ads is saying he's not really got a good record. I am Titanium says Paul Karma.
Paul Karma.
There you go. Okay, fair enough. Donnell Walcott says, G'day, United family, watching from Trinidad and Tobago. Thank you. Good to see Santa Notch in the chat as well. And he says, once again, a European night is all about Jose. Benfica beating Real Madrid, I believe.
Yeah, 4-2.
4-2.
Goalkeeper scored in the last minute, sent them through to the round of 32.
The goalkeeper scored in the last minute for Benfica.
That's Marseille out.
That's Marseille out, innit? Oh, De Zerbi in the mud. Right, let's. I tell you what, we'll keep an eye on it. Let's put it that way. Yeah, we're not saying it's going to happen anytime soon, but it's one to keep an eye on in the future, and hopefully Wythenshawe's prodigal son can return. What have you got next for us?
I'm gaffer now, Ruben. It's my Cal, my Cal, my.
It's a difficult way to spell it. I'm not even sure how to spell it.
I'm gaffer now, Ruben. It's my call.
Right. How would you say?
Oh, right, okay.
It's Michael in it, but it's just, we knew it'd be rough this one.
You should have just put call.
Well, I did.
Right. What's going on here? What?
It's I'm the gaffer now, Ruben. It's my call.
Ah, right. Okay.
But it's Michael Carrick.
I'm gaffer now, Ruben. It's my call. It's Michael. It's my Cal. Right. Okay. I fucking hate it.
That's fine.
It's not good.
No, even Scotty, right? He's very supportive of you boys. He is. He's always, you know, he's the good cop to my horrible cop.
You're better than this, lad.
Yeah, but even he was like, I could hear him going,
Yeah.
like, let's just be kind and say it's shite, right? Or let's be kind and say it's not your best work, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay, fine. Go on, Scotty, talk us through this one.
Michael Carrick pulls off masterstroke after binning Ruben Amorim's Man United plan. One of Carrick's standout success stories has been the performances of summer signing Mbeumo. He appears to be taking a different tactical approach with his expectations for the attacker. According to ESPN, previous manager Amorim was eager to exploit Mbeumo's adaptability by deploying him across multiple positions along the attacking line. However, Carrick has favoured positioning the forward more centrally whilst granting him freedom to drift. Brian Mbeumo revealed, training is different, mentality is different. We know we only have one aim and one way to go, so we have to do everything to do it. Daily Star and ESPN.
Yeah, it's a bit of an opinion thing. I mean, I think anyone who's watched United last two games can see Mbeumo's been playing very well. He did have a good spell on the Ruben Amorim, to be fair. He won player of the month, then he dropped off. I prefer seeing Mbeumo. And the one thing I didn't like with Amorim's system at times, I think was it the Brentford game where he had Mbeumo at right wing back or something at one point. And I think, fuck all that noise. Like, he should be at the business end of the pitch. He has been a bit more central. Obviously, Benjamin Sesko hasn't really featured. He came on against Arsenal, but he's not started either game and he didn't feature at all against City. So if he can keep Mbeumo in those dangerous positions, we saw it for that opening goal against Arsenal, where he was just on it, and a good finish as well. People underrated that. I thought he made it look easy, but a bit of pressure from, I think, Saliba coming in. Keeper gets an answer to it, and it's on his weaker foot, but he still gets it home. I know it looks easy. I don't think it was. He just made it look easy. So I'm liking what I'm seeing from Brian Mbeumo. I was a little bit worried, you know, when he went to AFCON, he come back, because he just, sometimes it can take you a few weeks
I
to
thought
get
there was
going.
going to be a fatigue.
Yeah, because it's just, you've been away in an international tournament, but he's just hit the ground running. And he's one of those players who can be a bit up and down, but so far, under Carrick, he's been absolutely up. And listen, we all love him, don't we? We all wanted him to come to Manchester United, and we're seeing the player. And I think he's kind of on course for the goal scoring rate he was on at Brentford, which is phenomenal considering he's not taking penalties. Just loving Brian Mbeumo.
I mean, I put a tweet out again after the Arsenal game, or maybe during the game, saying that Mbeumo's United's sign of the season, if not sign of the Premier League this season, in terms of, like I said, he's continued his form from Brentford and gone into a United team that's struggling. And there's a massive difference when he's not in the squad in terms of like his pace and his like. People are looking for him when the ball's coming over the top. It's quite interesting where he's talking about training being different and the mentality. It feels like, obviously, we're playing more direct football, which is evident when you're looking at how Michael Carrick's setting up, whereas there was more sort of counter-attacking, was there, with Amorim? I mean, the jury's still out, and I was a supporter of Amorim for a long time, but chalk and cheese compared to how United and Mbeumo's playing now.
Did you? I mean, I know you did support Amorim. I get it. I understood why you did, because, even though I was worried, we were still in with a shout at the Champions League, and despite the bad run we'd had, it wasn't like we were completely out of it. And you're thinking, okay, give him to the end of the season. I thought he'd get to the end of the season. Have you been surprised at how I know it's only 2 games, but the change, or did you see it coming?
I didn't see it coming as much as it has.
Yeah.
And there was more cause for concern when I saw Darren Fletcher come in and see how United played off the back of that, because there was little to no change between the Fletcher 2 games and under Amorim.
I thought Burnley was all right. I thought it was better, but not great.
Yeah, but there was all right performances on
the Brighton one worried me. I'm with you on the Brighton one, because I thought the Brighton one, the players looked leggy.
Yeah,
I thought they looked knackered, and I thought, Jesus Christ. I think what we've heard about the training under Carrick is it's shorter but more intense.
Yeah.
And there's more sort of, more focus on doing stuff with the ball and not just running, and he's sort of keeping it nice and intense but shorter. Whatever he's doing so far has worked as a treat. I'm just hoping now, we're talking about Europe earlier, this one game a week, I said this at the beginning of the season, I don't think it matters as much in August, September, October. That one game a week really kicks in March and April. I think when teams are in the knockout stages, which I think of all the English clubs gone through to knockouts in Europe.
I think so.
Yeah, try and find, if anyone could have a look at that. Chris or anyone else? They have, thank you. Tottenham, Newcastle, City and Liverpool. So when they've got sort of to make decisions, we've got a quarter final this weekend, or this week I should say, do we rest some players for the Premier League game or do they have to mix it up a little bit? That can help you. Or just the fact that you're away in, Barcelona or whatever, or I don't know if they're free, but you're away wherever on a Wednesday and then you've got a game on a Sunday. United haven't got anything until that weekend. Yeah. It's going to help you, isn't it? Yeah,
there's less problems for Carrick to try and solve with that, having that gap. The only issue would be is trying to get players in that aren't happy that there's only a limited amount of game time.
That's the problem, isn't it?
What's been really encouraging about that is you could see with players like Cunha, maybe when he's been a blockbuster summer signing, what am I doing on the bench when this new manager's coming in interim? You could expect maybe a player of his stature to spit his dummy out and say, no, I don't want to do that. But it's been the absolute opposite effect where he's come on and been instrumental in the performances when United have beat Arsenal and Man City. And looking towards the end of the season, I think with the games that we've got left in the league, because we're out of all cup competitions, I think we actually play less games to the end of the season than any of our competitors now out of the 16 games. So there's little to no excuse in terms of fitness now because he's obviously Ballandorgu is out, which is going to be a bit of a kick in the balls. But I think as a club, or sorry, a squad, I think we've got enough there to win the league.
You mentioned Cunha, yeah, why not? You mentioned Cunha there, and he could end up starting, and then all of a sudden, if you've got got him in your team, you're not going, oh my God, we're fucked.
Yeah.
Sesko hasn't started. Is there a way to get him back in the team? There is options there. I completely agree with that one. And no, it's been good to see so far. It's good to see the players seem happy, and like you said there, coming off the bench, I think Cunha for Mbeumo was one of the best quality substitutions I've seen at United post-Fergie.
Yeah.
If you look at who's coming off and who's coming on, it's not very often you get that sort of level of...
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Is he like a cliff drop?
Yeah, it's like you know what I mean?
Looney Tunes where Roadrunner's running off and it's like, what's this? Looking at the rocks to try and find a fucking replacement.
All about it where it's just been like, does it matter? Is it worth it? Like making this sub because they're both poor. Whereas now you're looking at it going, okay, you're losing a top quality players coming off, but a top quality players coming on. And Cunha's done that very difficult thing, I think, as well, coming into games where it's quite frenetic, and he's just slotted right in and caused problems immediately and got himself a goal and an assist in the process. Siriba187 says, Iliman Ndiaye from Everton would be a great addition. Tomen says, has got a membership, welcome to the academy. Yeah, there was a lot of talk, wasn't there, of James Garner coming to United, back to United, I should say, at one point. But he signed a new deal, I think, this week. Is Shaw out of contract, says Glazers out. I don't know if that's... I think it's next season, the end of next season. We are winning the league, says Greg,
yes.
FPL. I like that. Stu Campbell says, so what you're saying is title charge is on.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's not. Let's put it that way. Go on then, what's the next one? Are you going to redeem yourself after that
debacle? Come on, lads. Come on, lads.
Go on, I like this.
Sign the contract. Well done.
I want corn on the Kobbie to be a thing long after I'm gone. Yeah?
It will be.
Right? I want it to last for decades. Yeah, good stuff. Don't ever change. Good luck. That you're back on track now. You've absolutely redeemed yourself. Go on, talk us through this.
Why Kobbie Mainoo's new contract is far from a done deal. Sources have stressed that United have a lot of ground to make up after the past 12 to 18 months with Mainoo, and that the issues did not just start and end with Amorim, but instead include figures in the hierarchy. But undoubtedly, regular playtime, a genuine shot at making the England World Cup squad for the summer, and a shelved loan move to Napoli suggest this is all heading in the right direction. The key question now surrounds how much trust the club are putting in him for the longer term, and where they want to place him in the wage structure, with Mainoo keen to be reflected alongside the team's top earners. And that's from Nathan Salt in the Daily Mail.
I like Nathan Salt. Him and Chris Wheeler work quite close together. Chris Wheeler was running this story a few years ago, or about 18 months ago, about Mainoo's contract. And he was saying it was looking like sort of towards 200k. We've heard, I think it was Laurie said, that it might be a bit less than that. I think for me, Mainoo's got a right to sign a new deal and be on decent money. When I say decent money, I mean like money that reflects a first-team player at Manchester United. I think he's on 20, 30k a week at the minute. I don't think he's going to get top earner status. That's sort of Bruno Fernandes, Casemiro. I think Mason Mount might be one of the top earners' money. He's not going to get that. But I think the next rung, if you are playing every week, you're in the England team, I think you've got, and this is your sort of first big contract. I think somewhere around there. For me, I want to go a bit old school and do not pay as you play, nothing like that. Get your basics, but you get your bonuses.
Have like a scale.
Yeah, a scale. So your basic could be 100k or whatever,
yep.
and then it's 50k if United get Champions League football or you win or whatever. Just scale it up like that rather than just going, yeah, here's 200 quid a week, 200 grand a week. Because we've made these mistakes in the past where we've just gone, we threw a load, and I'm not having to dig at Mainoo. He's got every right. A footballer's got every right to try and get as much money as he can for the job he does. Everyone does that in all walks of life. So no one goes into a job and tries to get less money. So I don't mind that as long as he signs it in the end and they get to a decent, an understanding. But I think that something like that where it's a bit more incentivised rather than just because we've done it in the past where you got like Januzaj, remember going back, got a big contract after 3 or 4 games in the first team and everyone like quick, got to get him signed. And then you're looking at it and you're going, Marcus Rashford, who was a bit older than Mainoo when he got his big contract, but he had it off the back of that 30-goal season. We gave him the big contract, I think it was 275 grand a week. And then his form deserted him. Yeah. And then you've got a player who doesn't really want to be here anymore by the look of it, who's one of the club's top earners. And then you've got other players, maybe even Mainoo's one of them, going, well, if he's on 275k, I want at least 175. Yeah. Do you know what I mean?
Sancho's another example.
Sancho.
Or Anthony.
Sanchez, De Gea was like, De Gea I think is still like the highest paid goalkeeper ever, or one of the highest paid goalkeepers ever.
Anybody in work would have that frustration if you were coming to work, Jay, and say Joe wasn't pulling his weight, but he was earning 4 times your wage. Yeah. Then you'd be pissed and wanting that money. So I understand it from an employment point of view, but you're right, and I think the word that you use there is incentivise. And in the past, we haven't done that. And I think what needs to happen, especially with the younger players, there needs to be more of a carrot in front of them to improve their performances. Okay, yes, he wants to go and play for England and go to the World Cup, and that's great for his own personal progression. But me, first and foremost, I want to see his performances in the United shirt. And yes, he's only got limited time under Amorim, but hopefully that's going to come to an end now and he's going to play a lot more regularly. But we have to, due to financial fair play, we can no longer offer these lucrative contracts for players that haven't proven. And yes, he has had good performances, but we need more of a sort of,
He might end up getting a Cole Palmer style 9-year deal, something like that, so that gets scaled up. I don't know what the solution is, and I think a lot of what might happen here with the club, because apparently this contract says it goes back to pre-Amorim. Apparently this contract was almost agreed upon between him and the club, and yet the club didn't sign off on it. It was like there was a sort of an agreement, we'll give you this deal, and his people like, yeah, that sounds right. It went to Jason Wilcott's desk or whoever's in charge of it, and then it just sort of stagnated for ages. There was no it just sort of went cold. Amorim comes in, then he stops playing him. Then it's all different because all of a sudden you're no longer a first-team player trying to get a contract. So I'm not sure why he's, there was
would that be down to the Ratcliffe taking note? If you're going back 12, 18 months,
because it was around the FA. Do you remember around the FA Cup final? The talk was we're going to get him tied down because he was in man of the match in the FA Cup final, goals away with England, and it was like, look, he's on this deal where it's 20 or 30k a week, which is obviously a lot for a teenager, but it was like we want to get him tied down to a long-term deal. And there was loads of reports that it's going to happen at the end of the season. That season came and went and nothing happened, if you remember. Yeah. Now we're getting sort of halfway through the next season. We've had this issue at first where he wasn't in the team. Was he going to stay? We don't even know. The manager didn't even really want him. Now, obviously, Carrick's come in. It looks like the club. It even looks like Mainoo might have been one of the sort of sticking points with Wilcox and others who actually wanted to keep him at the club when Amorim said you can get rid of him. So we'll have to wait and see. It just seems a bit weird that this is sort of dragged on a little bit. So, I don't know.
Do you worry, though, given the managerial status? Obviously, if Carrick does go on and win the league, he'd probably keep his job in the summer. But if you're Mainoo, and it's a bit like uncharted territory, you don't know what manager's going to come in, and knowing how he was treated previously with Amorim, do you know what I mean? He might be like, well, if I sign a contract, I don't know how I'm going to be treated by the next man.
Yeah, I think, it's a good point. I think with anyone, you've got to back yourself a little bit, haven't you? And I think, look, if the club put him on big money and a new manager comes in and doesn't play him, then the chances are the club will have to move on, because I think one of the sort of saving graces for Amorim when he didn't play him was you've got a player that's not on a huge amount of money, so it's not like people are going, why have you got someone who would just give a 300k a week contract to and you ain't picking him? Also this summer, let's not forget, Casemiro's going. I think he's our highest earner on 300 odd grand a week.
Yeah.
I don't know what's going to happen with Mason Mount because he's gone from being Mr. First Teamer, first name on the team sheet under Ruben Amorim to barely get. He came off the bench against City. I don't think he did against Arsenal. This is his third season. He might be looking at it going, I'm 27, 28.
Yeah.
What am I doing here if I'm not playing every week? Because, it's a short career. And I also think with Mount, it's almost sort of be switched places with Mainoo a little bit in the sense that it felt like with Mainoo and Bruno, it was one or the other. I know they've played together a little bit, but it kind of got pitched as like he prefers playing one or the other. And now we feel like you're almost in that situation with Mount because Bruno's gone back to that 10.
Yeah.
That's kind of where Mount fits in best because we're not playing this Amorim system anymore. So I don't know. A lot might depend on when Bruno goes and that, mate. You know what I mean? There's so many ifs and buts and maybes. You know my thoughts on Kobbie Mainoo. I just want him to stay, and I want his mate from Wivenshaw to join him, and I want us to dominate world football forever. Some filth going on in the chat. Keep it clean, please.
What's the filth?
Just something about long shafts and tiny shafts and buttholes. Filth. Here we go. Martin P says, just put this out there, but Sterling on a free for a short deal. Someone else was chatting to me about this the other day. I'm not keen on this.
No.
Are you?
No.
No. I think he's had his contract, is it mutually terminated? So him and Chelsea have gone, look, there's pointless you being here. And he's gone, it's pointless me being here. Just fucking, you know what I mean? Just get off. He's 31, I think, Raheem Sterling. But he's not, is he? In terms of how much football he's played and all the rest of it. He's like Wayne Rooney. He's played so much football from such a young age. And also, he's a pacey, tricky winger. That was his thing, and he's 31 now. And has he still got it?
It reeks of desperation. If United were to make that sort of move, and we haven't got that amount of money in the bank and stuff, I just don't see it being a great. There was a couple of years ago we were looking at getting him in the summer. Was it when he went to Arsenal?
Yeah, and I think we dodged the bullet. I don't think he didn't do anything at Arsenal, did he?
No, evidently not.
And also, if you give me a choice between trying someone like Shea Lacey,
yes,
or fucking buying Raheem Sterling or signing Raheem Sterling, who's probably going to be on big dough, mate, we've got enough fucking ex-City lot at United at the minute.
But we don't need it. This is what we're saying before about the amount of games we've got. We've only got
one game a week.
Where does Raheem Sterling fit in?
Well, he can go from not getting in Chelsea's team to not getting in our team.
Yeah, it doesn't make no sense at all.
Collect a pay packet at the end of it.
Yeah. That's very United. That's like a very United move, though, doesn't it?
That'll motivate Kobbie Mainoo's team when you go, hang on a minute, you gave Raheem Sterling a deal, and he didn't even fucking play. Yeah. No, not for me. It's not the worst suggestion, but I'm not having it. And apparently no one else in the chat is. Sterling can fuck off, says Giddy. Nose to Sterling, says Tommen. Also, he's absolute shit, says here for Rion. Okay then. So, bit of a, the jury's out on whether we should sign Raheem Sterling. What's next for us?
Maguire Straits.
Love that. I fucking love that.
That's good.
I think that's really good, that. Yeah. I like little puns like that. Yeah, it's my era as well. Yeah. Very good.
What's name a tune?
Romeo and Juliet, Brothers in Arms, Money for Nothing, Walk of Life, your latest trick.
Okay, well, you really are a Dire Straits fan, aren't you? Wow.
Someone's a swing. Harry, how old are you? Old enough, Harry there.
Harry was swinging over in Belfast in the summer. The weekend.
Right, I'm going to admit it. Right. Yeah, exactly. Right. Dire Straits is like the 80s, right? Yeah. His dad's probably listening to Dire Straits. Dire Straits are on adverts still. You might hear the odd Dire Straits song on the radio, right? You came up with Engelbert Humperdinck, and it wasn't even one of his best or most well-known songs. And when did Engelbert Humperdinck have hits? Like in the 50s. Yeah. And then, the other thing, right? No, because I'm not having this. What made me laugh about him with his Engelbert Humperdinck, this is rattled. You've rattled me. His Engelbert Humperdinck thing was, he did it, me and Joe didn't know what he was on about, and then he got all annoyed with us.
Oh, because it's your fault?
Yeah.
Your fault,
like,
Jay.
it's the only time I've seen Ben get a bit angry. He was like, Engelbert Humperdinck.
You idiot.
Like, do you know what?
Why do you not know it, Jay?
Yeah, stick your fucking job, I'm going home.
He walked off to an Engelbert Humperdinck soundtrack. Slammed the door. I don't even know, what the fuck is a Humperdinck song?
Quando.
Oh, right, okay.
But I'd never heard of it. Was it The Last Waltz is the only one I know. Do you know how I know that? Because my gran liked it, God rest her. Genuinely. That's how old that is. Hey? Right, go on, let's talk about this one.
Man United and the Harry Maguire conundrum. Harry Maguire's future at Manchester United is uncertain despite a late career resurgence under interim coach Carrick. Maguire has formed an effective partnership with Lisandro Martinez. However, age, high wages and financial pressures complicate contract talks, which have yet to begin. Interest from clubs abroad exists, while United weigh up squad rebuilding priorities, particularly in midfield. For Maguire, regular football is essential to revive his England prospects and reach the World Cup. Ultimately, his future hinges on performances, finances, and whether United secure Champions League qualification. And that's from The Athletic.
Paraphrased, I like that.
It's not handing it into entire words, but
It's not. It's the gist of it. We've not misrepresented what was said. We've just sort of summarised it. I like Maguire. Liked him for years. Been impressed with his performances this year. And I think it was me and you chatting last year, and we said, can we scrap the Maguire redemption thing, because it's not Maguire redemption. He's done enough for a long time now, where he wasn't redeemed from anything really, other than a bit of a bad spell. And obviously, when Martinez and Varane were fit, they became the partnership, and everyone understood why. But I've been very impressed with him. He comes in, he always does a job. He did it last season. I think he's one of the few players that emerged with a bit of credit last season. Obviously, the winner against Lyon was probably the highlight of the season. Yeah. You could argue up there with the win at the Etihad. I'd keep him around if we can. I get he's sort of, the wrong side of 30, and he's probably on decent money, and he might not necessarily start every week, and now we haven't got three at the back. Do we really need him? But I think he's obviously got a great attitude. His performances have been fantastic. De Ligt, who I do like, has got a lot of injury issues, and they're not going away, are they? No. He had him at Bayern Munich, and he's had him now. I'm not saying you should get rid of Matthijs de Ligt or anything like that, but obviously, the guy, was it the 30th of November he got injured? He's still injured.
Nobody knows why.
Yeah,
it's
he's
like a real
back issue,
mysterious injury.
Which it's a real shame. Plus, Aiden Heaven, he's still a kid. What is he, 18, 19? Lenny Yoro, even he's young. Like, I loved Lenny Yoro, but he's 20. Aiden Heaven and Lenny Yoro, they're still in that sort of learning their craft
for
stage.
a centre-back, that's ridiculously
young.
Yeah,
of course it is, bro. Then you've got other youngsters like Godwill Kokonki or Tyler Fredrickson or whoever. They're nowhere near sort of ready. So I think, for me, keep Maguire, because you could do with him. And I think there's a good chance he might even stay and keep his place in the team, because you could argue, and I think there's a lot of validity in the argument that De Ligt's better. But if De Ligt's injured a lot, and Maguire's playing very well alongside Lisandro Martinez, who knows what could happen in the future. So, yeah, I wouldn't mind to see him at least get another one-year deal.
I'd like to see Harry Maguire stick around, because I think he's become stable when he does get called upon in centre-back, and he's just such a solid professional. And yes, people get tired of this sort of redemption story. Obviously, he went through a bad time. But you have to look at it in the context of Manchester United when he was going through a bad time, because we were dog shit. Do you know what I mean? Like, and he became emblematic of how bad we were. And not all the faults were down to Harry Maguire.
But great point, that emblematic. He did, didn't he? It was like, Maguire.
He was the poster boy for United being shit, and he made mistakes, but it wasn't all down to him, evidently. But he's come through it, and like I said last year, the goal against Lyon, Cruyff turns. Anyone who scores a winner at Anfield, Jay, deserves a statue outside Old Trafford for me. So not only would I keep him there, I'd embalm him and leave him outside the Stretford end.
Fair enough. Can't argue with any of that.
Once he's passed away.
Okay, yeah. Let's not murder him.
I'm not talking about murdering Maguire.
Kill him and then put him in Meckle. Coach Zach just joined late, was watching the Benfica game. Holy shit, what a finish. We need to be back in Europe. I agree with all of that. Coach Zach, what's next?
Just remind me how to say that.
How do you pronounce that? Ndiaye.
Sit back and enjoy the dough. Enjoy the dough.
Enjoy the dough.
We should have just said it was pronounced Enjoy, shouldn't we?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Enjoy the dough. What are you thinking? He looks a bit pissed off here, doesn't he?
Why is Man United not level?
I think it's the font.
Why did you see that?
Yeah.
See, like the U is slightly higher than the T. Yeah.
You're not supposed to proofread live.
No, I know.
I don't think it's very entertaining.
I do that all the time. If you not noticed, have you watched this before?
No.
No, but I'm just curious because it's like, do you know what I mean?
It does look. Maybe is it still knackered from when Ronaldo broke it?
No, this is a newbie.
Is it? Yeah. How many TVs do you get? They're very cheap in Wimmershaw.
Yeah, the red hot as well.
Yeah.
Smoke coming off him.
Right,
go on.
Man United plot blockbuster move for standout Everton star whose sale could shatter records. Manchester United are expected to place Everton's dazzling winger Iliman Ndiaye on their transfer shortlist for the summer. Sources have told Team Talk that Ndiaye has a growing number of admirers within the club, with his style of play and overall profile viewed as a strong fit for what United are looking to add in attack. Ndiaye is contracted until 2029, which puts Everton in a strong negotiating position. They have the backing of their owners, the Friedkin Group, who are prepared to spend in the summer market. With this in mind, United would need to stump up a big fee to lure Ndiaye away from Everton.
Let's have a look there. 25 years old. Yeah, sorry, might even say that on there. I mean, yeah, decent player. Don't know, let me know what you think. Get involved in the chat in the comments. It does seem like there's not a lot in this right now. It seems like it's a bit sort of, United will like him, he's a good player. He's doing all right this season. I think it's 4 goals so far this season.
Did he score a banger early on in the season?
Yeah, I think he did. So, look, it's one of those players where you go, yeah, I like him. When you see Everton, you can see what he brings to that team. I don't know if he's a United player. I don't know if he's the kind of player that United should be going for. I just don't. I think a lot of this just depends on fees and where United in Europe. If it was up to me, probably not. Especially not when he's got 3 years left on his contract. Get involved in the chat in the comments. Someone in the comments earlier said they wanted it before we even had this. Yeah, he's good. Greg says he's good, but only if it's 35 million. No thanks, says Martin. And agent talk, says Isaac Dean.
Do you know how much money we're expected to have in the summer? I know it may be impacted by like league positions, but do we have like a rough idea about how much money we're going to get to spend?
Well, there's talk in there of us going for 2 midfielders. So you think at least 150 million quid.
Right. Okay.
When I say 2 midfielders, I mean like Wharton and Belabor or something like that.
Yeah.
Like maybe we're going to go for 2. Because there was thought that maybe we'd get like a Wharton and then get a James Garner on a free, but obviously that's gone out the window because he's got to sign a new deal. So I'd expect us to have 150 million or something like that. United usually have a decent amount of money, even when we've not got loads by our standards. We usually at least make 2 or 3 signings. But the Champions League would be the kicker, because we were chatting to Kieran Maguire and he was saying he's saying the Europa Conference, forget it doesn't even make you any money. He said it's
not even worth
it's
it.
Almost it's pointless. But the Europa can make money, but obviously the Champions League's different gravy in it, and also this new setup, this new system. You know, you've got a good chance of getting through to the knockout stages as well, which obviously brings in more revenue. That'd be interesting to wait and see what happens. When I look at the squad, there's thought that maybe we could sell Rashford and Højlund, but I don't know what kind of money. Was Højlund like 38 million maybe, 40 million?
30 million.
Yeah,
it's mad that Rashford probably will go for cheaper than Højlund.
Well, I think with Højlund, obviously, because we spent 72, in terms of PSR, Rashford's all profit. We'll have to wait and see. It's a bit frustrating. We haven't got a load of players we can sell. A lot of our players who we could move on are going to go on a free. But there's always the Bruno element as well. Is he going to go? Is he?
True.
I don't know. It's so many ifs and buts and maybes. Right, go on.
21s, he's coming.
Like that. Good stuff, that. Is this the last one, by the way?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like this. Tell you what, I like the fact there's so much text on each of these as well. Scotty's got his work cut out today. Everyone seems to get bigger.
Do you know what paraphrase means?
We'll do short stories until you're in Scotty.
Oh no,
Right.
I thought that was Vidic.
Right,
I don't think he's got a look.
Yeah, no, that's not too bad.
That sort of demented sort of, fuck you, I'm coming.
Yeah, I'm coming. Yeah, do you know what? He looks like a cross between Nemanja Vidic and Jaap Stam.
Wow.
Yeah.
Can you imagine the love child?
If you did that face mash thing, I think that's what you get. Go on then, talk us through this.
Man United confirmed shock return for coach back at Carrington. Adam Lawrence has returned to Manchester United to manage the under-21s for the remainder of the season. Lawrence was formerly under-18 manager, but stepped away from the role last summer. He joined Newcastle, to manage their under-21s and lasted 4 months in the North East. Pretty decent going. Before deciding to leave, Travis Binion, brilliant name, was formerly United's under-21 manager, but he was recently appointed to Michael Carrick's backroom staff, which created a vacancy to take over the under-21 side. Lawrence oversaw a treble with United's under-18s in 2023-24, winning 2 trophies at the expense of rivals Man City. He will now help the development of the under-21s for the remainder of the campaign.
He's done that classic of, let's go and see what it's like in Newcastle. Oh, no. It's minging. Let's go back to Manchester. Look, Adam Lawrence, I don't know a lot about him. I know about his team's obviously doing very well. Finn was raving about him. We had that great season with him. He did very well. It seems that everyone at the club who speaks of him speaks very highly of him. The results speak for themselves. The amount of good players that he develops and works with. It makes sense. It's not great when someone goes away and goes, actually, can I come back? I made a mistake. But, look, you know, it's not unforgivable. And if it improves the academy, it improves the under-21s, he's obviously got a track record, then, yeah, get him back and get him working with those youngsters. I think it's a bit of a...
certainly. And this vacancy came about because Carrick promoted Travis Binion. That's why. It's not because the under-21s went with...
No, I think we saw Travis Binion, didn't we? Was he part of Fletcher's backroom staff, wasn't he? Yeah. For those 2 games. Binion was on the bench,
right, okay.
And obviously Michael Carrick's getting him involved as well. So yeah, we'll see what Adam Lawrence does, but someone who's highly respected and got a very good record at Manchester United with the younger players. Thank you to everyone who got involved in the chat and the comments. I'm going to stick a little, if we haven't done already. Oh, is the one in? Yeah. There's a link to the merch there in the chat, and you can see it up on your screen. Do check out that. Scotty, what have you been up to? Anything you want to plug?
No.
No? Good. You're here on Sunday, aren't you?
Yeah.
That's the level of enthusiasm. You better bring that.
What are we doing on Sunday?
You're doing the Fulham game, aren't you?
Oh, Fulham, yeah. Another 3 points.
Yes.
Because we're going to win the league.
There you go. That's more like it. That's, in fact, say to that, producer Cam, you did well there. You had a really bad one, but then you redeemed yourself. The contract one with Kobbie Mainoo and the Maguire Straits, yeah, that was right up there. They're very classic ones. Shout out to Cristiano as well, who's sat in the corner. That's been the production team. That's been Scotty. I've been Marty. This has been Paddock Live. Thanks for watching.